The opening of Melbourne's overdue and over-budget Westgate Tunnel has taken another step forward. The EPA has signed off on its air filtration plans despite outrage from residents. The Premier inspected the tunnel as part of a whirlwind day of electioneering 1 year out from the start of the proper campaign. Here's our state political reporter, Richard Willingham.
Opening the over-budget and 3 years behind schedule Westgate Tunnel, the environmental watchdog ticking off on the project's exhaust plans to the chagrin of locals.
It shouldn't be up to us to fight for 8 years for filtration on these vent stacks. You would expect the government's own agency that is meant to be protecting the environment to actually do their job and protect the environment.
Government takes its advice from the chief scientist. Getting those trucks off the roads is going to make a big difference, which is one of the reasons why the Westgate Tunnel has been built.
The Premier unable to say when in December it will open, although it's likely to be after the Metro Tunnel.
In December. In December. In December.
Before or after the Metro Tunnel?
In December.
Before Christmas?
In December.
Labor hopes the opening of this road and the Metro Tunnel will be a fillip for its re-election campaign, with the Premier keen to focus on jobs and investment. But as it ends the parliamentary year, the government will spend this week focusing on law and order. It's an issue the Premier doesn't want to be talking about in 2026. Richard William, ABC News, Melbourne.
The Westgate Tunnel has been signed off by the EPA in another big step toward finally opening. Project bosses are optimistic that the overdue project will now pass critical safety tests. State political reporter Heidi Murphy.
Flanked by her crew, the Premier out to spruik the finishing touches.
As you can see, the asphalting's done, the line marking's done.
More than 3 years late and billions over budget, the Westgate Tunnel's on track to open next month. Jacinta Allen still refusing to get more specific.
In December. In December. In December. In December.
The EPA has given it the tick of approval in a decision blasted by locals concerned there's no filtration on the ventilation stacks.
We're devastated by this news today. In this day and age, when technology is available, you'd think the government and the EPA would say, put filtration on these vent stacks and protect the health of people in the inner west.
The government insists it is.
Being on the side of residents who live here in the inner west is one of the reasons why we built this project in the first place, to get those trucks off local roads.
You might get the trucks off the streets here, but all that pollution is going to come out of that chimney over us.
Under the operating licence conditions, Transurban must report annually to the EPA on noise and air monitoring, system performance and if further mitigation is needed. It may well and truly look ready to go, but there is still a fair amount of testing over the next 4 to 6 weeks, including some intensive fire drills with emergency services.
It is one of the last things we do in a tunnel like this because everything has to be operational, everything has to be connected into the control room.
Heidi Murphy, 9 News.
The Westgate Tunnel is almost finished, with the Premier the first to drive through it ahead of next month's official opening. The government claims it's a quick route to Avalon Airport, which is about to relaunch its international terminal for Bali flights.
The Westgate Tunnel taking you to work, home and even Bali more quickly.
It's estimated that there will be at least 20 minutes in travel time savings.
The opening of the trouble-plagued link to coincide with the return of international flights to and from Avalon Airport. A warm welcome at the entrance of the city-bound Westgate Tunnel, the Premier taking the wheel as work powers on underground. 2.8 kilometres worth of asphalting and line marking complete.
And now the finishing touches are being put to this project.
The EPA has given its final tick of approval to operate the tunnel, one of the final steps required to open the $10 billion toll road by December.
The green light secured despite community concern about toxic fumes and air quality in the inner west.
Giving a private billion-dollar company, Transurban, licence to pump pollution out over our communities for decades to come. They're putting profits ahead of the community's best interests.
Government takes its advice from that independent regulator, and that is the determination that the independent regulator has made.